Today I want to introduce you to a piece of gym equipment you may have you've never heard of, you've probably never seen. This is not something that is a necessity, it's not an essential, but it is something that you're probably going to want. So if you don't want to spend money in your home gym, you should probably not watch this video. But if you're like most people, you want to build your home gym and you want to make it better. One of the exercises that you probably do more than any other is you use dumbbells for pressing, whether it's incline, flat, or shoulder press. So this product is designed to hold up to 120-pound dumbbell, but it does it in a unique way and allows you to, well, let me just show you. Okay. These are the Oak Club dumbbell spotters. Actually, I don't even know what the name is. Pivoting dumbbell cradles. I actually don't even know the price yet, so some of you are just gonna be upset because maybe they're very expensive. They are made in Canada, but this is what they do. I'll show you very quickly. The idea is based on a very old idea. If you've ever been to like a really high-end commercial gym, you've probably seen these, or some of those like, you know, underground strength gyms where they've just got a lot of older equipment. This is something that used to be very popular, has kind of gone out of favor, but this is what it allows you to do. Okay, let's review it. Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. The way that a traditional dumbbell press is done is like this. Take them from the ground, put them on your knees. One reason like you really like for adjustable dumbbells to have a flat plate because it feels comfortable on your thighs. Then you lift up and go back and then press. And then when you're done, you either drop them or you bring them forward and come down. I honestly don't think it's that dangerous to do that. If you go really heavy, honestly, there's a lot of people that just can't max out on dumbbell bench because they don't want to hurt themselves or they don't want to tear a pec or something like that when they're trying to go back or forward. This is kind of designed to help with that, but also designed to allow you from the very beginning of the rep to basically get into position, lock in like you would with a barbell, and then go back. The ones that I use in my garage are called VersaSpot. I don't even think they make them anymore. It's basically this bar that attaches to the rack. Rogue used to sell it and then has these like rubberized cradles. So you start at the top rep, very much like a J-cup for a dumbbell, and then come out. These ones are pivoting. And the reason that a pivot may be better, may not be, is it may be a little bit more versatile for some exercises. Initially, I'm like, I don't know if I would like these or why I would like these better than something like a VersaSpot that's more traditional to a barbell. But the reason these are beneficial and feel good is because you get the stretch of the movement. So you're basically at the top coming back. If you've ever done like a squat out of the hole, if you go down and pause and come back up, it's way harder than if you just bounce out of the bottom. This allows you to basically bounce out of the bottom and then rest them with you being able to go to failure because you can adjust them wherever you want on the rack. For instance, like the VersaSpot ones, you start at the top. If you don't complete the rep, you're not getting to the top. There's no like safety system like a barbell where you can just drop the bar, right? So you got these heavy dumbbells, you're trying to max out. This allows you to set them up lower, and so you can finish at the bottom of the rep and then dump them forward. So I'll show you real quick. You just throw these on here. They go back. I will say there's no like locking mechanism with these. They say at 27.5 degrees is the pivot. I mean, it takes very little to push these forward for them to come out. They're using very high quality components. If you've ever used anything from Oak Club, you know their stuff is really good. They're a boutique brand. I'm assuming these are gonna be pretty expensive because they're using high quality components and they're not importing them. But they're using UHMW plastic all throughout, including in the cradle for the dumbbell. That matters because you're gonna be doing a lot of this, like you throw them in. And so you need something that's gonna be strong, but also protect your dumbbells because a lot of people are gonna be using expensive dumbbells in these. Now, the way that they're able to have a lot of strength on this is they're running a through rod. So basically the pin goes all the way through. This comes out, then this comes out, and you can see that goes all the way through and is welded and connects over here. So really, the likely failure point, in my assumption, would be this rod right here because there's just a lot of torque on there. The reality is you're probably gonna bend your rack quicker than you are gonna mess with this because that's a thick rod. And then you take a mag pin. These are an Oak Club mag pin, very nice. They put 2 different holes so it could work on like a rep rack or a Rogue rack. Place that in, and then you place your dumbbell in. Once you have your dumbbells in, you can adjust where you put your bench. The thing is, you don't want them too high. Like if you're going to failure, you still have to drop them. This allows you to put it back up. This then allows you to focus on the hardest part of the movement, which should not be unracking, re-racking, it should be the actual lift. When you dump out, you can see they fall out. So you don't want to leave your dumbbells in here. That would be kind of a cool addition if they made these when they're not in use. Maybe they could be used with the adjustable dumbbell cradles and then sit in a flat position. So then you could use them like an actual adjustable dumbbell stand. And then when you want to use them, you take it off and put it on the rack. But regardless, you then come back. Once you come back, you're gonna like bounce. You can obviously pause if you want, but you're kind of losing a lot of the benefit of this. It kind of just falls into your lap and boom. Then when you're ready, say you've done just max, like you're here. Because if you think about like another option, you'd have to be all the way at the top, something like mad spotter hooks. Well, you can finish here and you're just like, ah, and you just throw them forward. And like you can, I mean, they're rated for 120 pounds. I'd be more worried about your rack than I would be around this, but let's just go ahead and load it up to 120 pounds just so you can see. 120. Okay, so if you can shoulder press 120, you're probably not gonna have a problem curling it up and getting it up there. I cannot shoulder press 120, but I just wanna show you. So then, that's a huge dumbbell. It doesn't just stop at like the 90-degree point, it goes back, and then that's when it falls out. The UHMW plastic is really nice because it's slick, so it just allows it to just fall out and you're ready to go. But if you're worried about like, how strong is this? I mean, that's a lot of torque. Most of the pressure is going to be on these bolts here, but they're using bronze oilite bushings, pretty much the same as what you see on your barbells, a nice barbell. So they're self-oiling. You don't really have to do any maintenance. If you want to do any maintenance, you could put some 3-in-1 oil, but really it's not even necessary. All right, let me reset it up and I'll show you kind of how it looks on dumbbell press, because I think a lot of people use it for that. I will say, I think the shoulder press application is my favorite, but it works for dumbbell too. Let me show you. Okay, multiple ways you can do this. You can basically start with it here, go back, and then lay down. So you'd have to adjust your bench a little bit. I think a better way is to basically get your bench where you want. I mean, this is why it's beneficial. Set your shoulder blades in how you want, just like you would with like powerlifting, like you would with a barbell. Then you're reaching out, and depending on the height of the dumbbell spotter or the cradle, you can basically come either here and then do your rep, or you could come in and use like the benefit of the momentum. Come in, get them set. This is 80 pounds. So you come down and then up, throw it in. Another way is you can start at the top like that. And then when you're done, the thing with having them high, if you fail, like say you're here, one thing you can do is just quickly throw them up. One thing, these could potentially be unsafe if you're not really controlling it going back. If you just shove it in there, like there's nothing preventing it really from tipping. I mean, like you wanna make sure the bar's in there before you let it go, because if it's here, it's coming forward. I mean, that is when it goes back, but if it's there, it's falling forward. And if it's a heavy dumbbell. One of the things you may be saying is like, Coop, I don't have, the $1,200 rep-ins. Other dumbbells can work too. So if you have a traditional, I'll just show you, 60-pound hex head dumbbell. Works fine. Now, heavier dumbbells get bigger. Works fine too. Man, those dumbbells are huge. If you have other adjustable dumbbells, power blocks can work. The thing is, these are really more made for a rounder dumbbell. So what happens is you put these in, and then because there's this hole here, they kind of tend to rotate. So if you have power blocks, honestly, I'd recommend probably selling them and upgrading anyways to a more modern dumbbell. But if not, just understand like they're gonna rotate in there. And then another option is for you with loadable dumbbells, which again, if you have loadable dumbbells and you're spending this much on an Oak Club product, probably recommend just getting an upgraded dumbbell. But these can kind of work. I would just be worried about them slipping out. This one's a little bit unique in that the collars are at the very tip. You're gonna have a very small surface area and it's gonna be on something slick. So technically it could potentially fly out. Lastly is just comments on the quality. These are very well done, as with any Oak Club product. They kind of have like a unique design aesthetic They'll use the khaki for their logo plates, everything laser cut, everything really nice UHMW plastic, overbuilt, well done, and they're gonna charge you for it, like they're expensive. I hope to see more budget-friendly options of these. The nice thing is, how much space this takes up is very little. And we see companies do this all the time. They take something that would be standalone in a commercial gym and make it and use the structure of your rack for the uprights. Suddenly you have a very similar functionality, but you have it in much cheaper and much smaller form. So you can just put these, infinitely adjust them up and down your uprights as much as you want, and use them for all different kinds of exercises. Now, from a safety aspect, this has to be something that like comes quick and drops out. That's kind of the whole benefit to it. So I would not leave my dumbbells in here. If you have kids running around or dogs or whatever, and you don't want them to get knocked, don't leave your dumbbells in here. These are designed for when you're using them, put the dumbbells in. When you're not, take the dumbbells out. So who would I recommend these for? I mean, if you've got a lot of other stuff and you want a new gym toy, this is definitely one you could add. If you've never used something like that, like if you've used it and you like it, obviously this is the best option. It also does allow you to lift outside of the rack. I would probably not recommend doing it inside the rack because you're just gonna kind of get in the way of the rest of the rack. But doing it outside the rack is very similar to what you'd use of any of those commercial options. If you're fine with putting on your thighs, coming back up and lifting it, I wouldn't really worry about it. But this is a way that you could lift safer with dumbbells. That's what it's for. What do you think of the dumbbell cradle? Let me know in the comments. Are there any other attachments that we haven't reviewed? Let me know as well. This has been Coop from Garage Reviews. See you next time. Peace.